Thank you.
Thank you. I thank you for
Okay.
volunteering.
We're going to go ahead and start off the meeting with roll call. Vic?
Christina Barbera.
Present.
Sean Barbera.
Here.
Christina Calandra is unexcused. The Christensen here. Adrian Fernandez.
Here.
Cynthia Gagne is excused. Gwen Henry.
Present.
Alonzo Jenkins.
Here.
April Jones and Melanie Lebrecht are excused. Kelly Miller.
Here.
Kane Nicholas.
Here.
Thomas Norman is excused. Ray Regalado.
Here.
Angela Sumner.
Here.
Chris Valle.
Here.
Okay, that is 11. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Thank you. All right, that takes care of agenda item number 1. We're going to move on to agenda item number 2, general public comment on non-agenda items. For those of you who are here, we have an agenda that is posted, and we have to follow very closely according to our rules. But there is an opportunity for any of you to say something that is not on the agenda. And for that, we're going to have, I have 4 cards here. So we'll take 2 minutes max for those of you who have signed up. So we're going to start comments on non-agenda item. And the first one is Gwen Henry. And Gwen will be speaking as a stakeholder.
So, over on the table, all of you might see this flyer. This is an event that is coming up. Tim Gosker is leading it, and all of the neighborhood councils are helping to sponsor it. It's an emergency preparedness town hall. Long time coming. It's going to be a lot of resources there. Earthquakes, anything along heat, all sorts of different emergency situations that you might get involved, just happen to be in. Here, we're near the water, drowning. There's CRT training that they will probably be sharing. There's a lot of long-term trainings. So please consider going. Like I said, the resources are going to be there. There's going to be the fire, all of the first responders are going to be there. It's really going to be something. Thank you.
Next is Ellen Franz.
Thank you, Ray. We are here in the Peck Park Community Center. I'd just like to make sure everybody here is aware that we have 2 monthly walks in Peck Park Canyon on the 3rd Wednesday and the 4th Saturday of every month. They're both at 9 o'clock in the morning, starting at the back of the parking lot right here. And the Wednesday walk probably doesn't work too well for high school students, but the 4th Saturday is a nature walk, again starting at 9 o'clock at the back of the parking lot. And many people don't even know there's a canyon back there, and something like 80 acres of open space. So if anybody's interested, please feel free to join one of those walks. There is also a volunteer day, so if any students or other community members need volunteer time or community service hours, that will be November 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's a Sunday. This month, the 27th, is National Public Lands Day. And this park is one example of public lands. We have a number of public spaces here in San Pedro and obviously throughout the county, the state and beyond. But these are resources that are in many cases underutilized. And spending time in open space is good for us physically and mentally, and preserving open spaces for wildlife and protecting biological diversity is something that's good for us in the long run, because wildlife, for better or worse, is the source of nearly half of our pharmaceuticals and a key contributor to our food supply. in many respects. So honoring and supporting public lands is something we all should do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jesus Diaz.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jesus Diaz. I am the new Community Relations Coordinator from LASA. And I wanted to thank the volunteers for being here as well. We'll soon be recruiting for the annual homeless count that happens in January. And I want to thank everybody for being here, your support. Your community needs you. So we really appreciate you being here and being active in your community. Thank you for you guys for letting me speak today. Thanks.
You're welcome. And my last card is from Lamar Lyons.
Good afternoon. For those who don't know, I'm from Central Neighborhood Council. I'm the president, and I'm here to express support to Northwest as relates to controversy associated with Union Phillips 66. You may already know that there's some controversy behind this project, and one is the fact that the community that was not included in the beginning for the conceptualizing of the project itself. You may already know that the site is a lake of hydrocarbons up to 60 feet deep. This is referred to as the 5-point Union Plan, and there's two sections, southern and northern. Southern has to do with an anticipated building of huge warehouses. The other part has to do with like a community center that is acclimated towards sports, community space, and also a food, beverage type of facility. The master plan is clearly orientated towards goods movement, commerce, recreation, and community focus, not manufacturing. It's a mixed-use concept, but there's a dual definition of mixed use. On one side, it's referred to a combination of rec, community type of meetings, and the other has to do with what's referred to as a building that has on the bottom floor office space. First floor has commercials, second floor has office, and the rest is housing. The problem is that the developers are not wanting to provide housing. And in order for them to go forward, there has to be zone changes and entitlements that is tailored towards large-scale warehousing and retail, not manufacturing. The legacy contamination requires not only soil remediation, but also ongoing groundwater treatment and environmental monitoring for structural reuse. There's three takes that I would like to share with the council, and that is the redevelopment plan is dedicated towards retail, recreation, and has nothing to do with manufacturing. One concept that is being promoted has to do with manufacturing, specifically as it relates to high-tech, high-wage production, which is doable. There are several brownfield developments that can be compared to what is Phillips 66 is talking about, and therefore it provides for a rationale for manufacturing. One concept that we're putting before has to do with what I refer to as the Harbor Innovation Park, which translates the land to a global hub for clean energy, advanced manufacturing, biotech, and logistics innovation. And it allows for the introduction of clean energy and EV manufacturing, the concept that we're talking about. It creates a sustainable, high-wage jobs for the harbor region. We're talking about trying to solicit companies like Honda, Toyota, and it has to do with EV building. I'd also like to share with the fact that there's a possibility of close to 10,000 high-wage paid jobs for the site, subject to the development of the concept itself. And with that, I would like to bring this to a close in light of the fact I have 2 minutes, but again, want to express the fact, support for Northwest relative to the intent to challenge the present design that's being considered. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're looking for somewhere to sit, there are seats on the chairs on the rack over there, and there's empty space on your left, but the chairs are around the corner, so you can go grab one.
That takes care of our general public comment on non-agenda item, and we're going to move on to agenda item number 3, which is presentation. We have representatives from the Circle team, I believe, and they will be giving us an update on their efforts and their work.
Forgive me, I'm horrible at public speaking, so if I get verklempt, give me a minute. But anyway, Circle is I should introduce myself. I'm Nicholas Walden, Circle Program Manager from the Mayor's Office of Community Safety. And this is Danny Yamas. He's the Operating Area Program Manager for the Harbor Division of Circle. So with that, I'll get into it quickly. So Circle is a 24/7, 365 unarmed response program that responds to calls diverted from 911 that are non-violent, non-medically emergent, and non-criminal related to unhoused individuals, so homeless folks. As I said, we operate 24/7, 365. We operate in 39% of the city geographically, and we serve 51% of all Angelenos within the city. What else? So Circle is contacted or reached by calling 877 Ask LAPD for the non-emergency line, or if you're unsure about it, 911. That being said, officers in the field can call directly to Circle from dispatch. Once Circle actually gets the call, Circle's time in response is typically 30 minutes or less once we get the call. I do understand that the call times, or the wait times, I should say, once you get into 877 Ask LAPD, the non-emergency line, can be rather long, but that's just due to the fact that all other calls must be triaged based on severity. So things like medical emergencies or crimes in progress. Circle calls take a back seat to that just because, again, we do not respond to non-criminal, non-emergency, and non-violent calls related to unhoused individuals. So what this means is that for all of those calls that would traditionally be routed to LAPD before the iteration of Circle, before the beginning of Circle, all of these calls are now routed to Circle in 7 operating areas throughout the city. So that's the Valley, that's the Venice area, that's Harbor, that's South Los Angeles, Metro, East, and Hollywood. So that's roughly 13 of the council districts that we serve throughout the city of Los Angeles, and I believe 10 LAPD divisions. That being said, for Harbor, with the latest data that I have for June of this year, and keep in mind Harbor includes, all the way up from the Harbor Freeway area, all the way down to San Pedro, Wilmington, and other parts of the area. Circle responded to 358 calls in June total. And then for the totality of the Circle program throughout the city of Los Angeles, we responded to 2,112 calls. And then something I should mention, since Circle relaunched with Circle 2.0 in April 1st of this year, Circle has responded to 12,810 diverted calls from LAPD. So that means that's almost 13,000 calls that LAPD officers did not have to respond to. That being said, you might be asking what type of calls are eligible for Circle. That's well-being checks. That's our broadest category. So that could be somebody having some sort of quality of life crisis. They're sitting out in the sun on the sidewalk. It's rainy. It's cold. They're under-sheltered. Maybe they're underclothed. We also deal with things like public nudity, as long as it's not of the lewd type. We also respond to loitering calls, requests for syringe disposals, noise complaints, and individuals under the influence but not actively using. That being said, Danny, did you have anything to like off?
I don't have much to offer. Once again, my name is Dan Yamas. I'm the program manager for the Harbor Division out here in the Harbor area. Sorry. Other than just the fact is, I wanted to have the team out here so you guys can get a little familiar with them. They're unfortunately responding to some calls right now. We do our best to do our best is what I always like to say. And it's one of those things, when we get calls out there, a lot of you guys know that our calls that we get, are the types that we get, have to do with what we call PHs, people experience homelessness. A lot of you guys know that they may not be mentally stable. At times they're under the influence. So the calls that we do respond to and we do our best is we like to consider ourselves what we call bridge builders. We can't make them move. We can't take them anywhere. We can't arrest them like the LAPD can. What we can do is offer resources. And the resources we offer are substance abuse programs, interim housing, emergency shelters at times, and different facets of that type of work. So it's the calls that we get are different. We never get the same type of call. It's always something different. But I want you guys to make you guys aware that we do our best. A lot of times we get people thinking that they're like, we pull up, we drive up, we talk to them, and we drive away. They think we didn't do nothing. We get that a lot. And we want to let you guys know that we do continue to work with them. You may see us drive away, but we come back later. If not the same day, we come back days later and continue to try to build that bridge with them or that response, that relationship with them to get to know them so they can trust us in the long run and then get the services that they need.
Thank you. And then I should also mention, again, with the type of work that Circle does, it involves multiple touches. I mean, for people to trust that you're going to do well for them, again, you need to know them, and the team does an excellent job building rapport with these individuals, multiple times a day, 24/7, 365. That being said, if the neighborhood council would like a deeper dive into this, I'd be more than happy to have a Zoom call with you with an official presentation where I can give you a fuller breakdown. But with that, I'll open it to questions to the neighborhood council.
Thank you. And thank you for the work that you all are doing out there. I've seen you in action, and you're doing great work. And,
thank you.
Work that I think we all in our community is thankful for what you're doing out there. So let's start off if we have any questions from around the table. Anyone?
I just want to say thank you too. I know that the contacts that you guys are making and helping with them it's really hard, and we appreciate it. It's a much needed service in our area, and so I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you. I'm glad that it's continuing, and we got 2.0, and now let's get 5.0 and keep going.
I should also mention we work closely with our LAPD partners, so thank you to the SLOs and the sergeant and the captain here. So I know Danny's constantly in contact with them, so, and the council member as well.
Great.
That's so awesome.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sure, it's difficult work. Do you still have openings? Are you trying to expand your team here in the harbor of people with Circle? I know it's very specialized. You have to have a lot of empathy. You have to have a deep understanding of some of the things that people are going through.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think the harbor team is pretty full.
Yeah, we're fully staffed right now.
You can speak in the microphone, please.
Oh,
yeah, we're fully staffed, and I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with how our team's comprised. I know you said about empathy, and our team is made up of a wide variety of people. Our team is made up of long-term offenders that faced a lot of jail time, repeat offenders, people that are formerly homeless, and also recovering addicts. So that helps our team build that bond. We call it our secret sauce is our interpersonal relationships. And that's because they can trust us like they see us as one of them.
Should also mention that all teams have a clinical supervisor, usually an LCSW, over them. I think in this case it's a PhD. So there is that element as well to Circle. And currently I think the total for Circle workers throughout the city is hovering around 95 individuals.
Any other questions from around the table? Yeah, Chris.
You mentioned that the two main sources of your referral are either redirected 911 calls or otherwise police non-emergency calls. Is there, or do you think that there should be any other way to get in touch with you directly? Do you think it's most effective for your tasks to be directed through police dispatch, or is there potential?
So during the initial pilot program of Circle, many venues were looked at as to the best way to dispatch the Circle team. It was ultimately decided, while I was not with Circle at the time, but it was ultimately decided that venues such as 311 were not conducive to a proper, or I shouldn't say a proper response, but a safe response, given that 311 workers are not what's called post-training, and maybe one of the LAPD officers in the back can correct me on the acronym. I don't know what it stands for. However, I will tell you that all LAPD operators, call takers, and dispatchers are post-trained, and that training takes up to a year. And that's just to ensure that when a caller calls in, they're able to give a proper interview, look at the information, and then decide which is the correct of three responses to dispatch out, either PD, fire and EMS, or Circle.
Okay, so that's really where the important sort of differentiation in the cases happens.
Yeah, it's mainly due to safety because, again, beyond a blue vest, what you see Danny in is what the Circle teams wear. There's no sort of safety vest worn. There's no pepper spray. There's no nightstick. Totally unarmed. They go in with a smile and a vest that says Circle, and multiple repeat engagements with these individuals, again, to build trust. And sometimes the situations can become tense in the very beginning, but the teams continually go out there. They offer immediate resources such as water, snacks, clothing, those things, rapport building tools, and then they're able to finally break through. And I think, Danny, your team's actually very successful in getting people linked to emergency housing through through LASA, because I should also mention Circle does not have any direct access or vein into any sort of housing, so no quick type of way to do it. We have to go through the same process of matching individuals as all the other homeless service providers in the city of Los Angeles.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have two questions. Do you guys take volunteers, and how do I get involved?
We do not take volunteers at this time. I do know that other service providers, I should mention that Circle has 5 service providers within the program. So it's no longer just Urban Alchemy. It includes Sycamores for the Valley, Canopy Roots in Hollywood, Alcott Center in Metro. Urban Alchemy covers Circle East, Circle South, and Circle Harbor. And then Circle Pacific is covered by Haluna Health. So you can look on all of those boards, and if you want to meet me afterwards, I can write down the names for you and you can see if there's any openings. The only way we really take any sort of volunteer work is the mayor's office does occasionally pull in interns from USC and UCLA.
Do you have a card that I could possibly take?
I think I might have a card left, and I can give it to you after I
Thank you.
down from here.
Vic?
What kind of clothing donations do you take? New, used?
It really depends on the needs of each operating area. So I think, Danny, you're pretty full right now, correct?
We're low on men's clothes, to be honest.
Oh, there you are.
I couldn't hear the response because it wasn't at the mic.
I'm sorry, yeah, so we're currently low on men's clothes. We do pass out quite a bit of men's clothes and shoes. That would be something that would be really helpful. As far as new and used, it doesn't really matter as long as it's in good a shape that they're not going to be ripping through it real quick, you know what I mean?
Did you say new or used?
It doesn't matter whether it's new or used. We can wash it and get it.
Okay, because I am particular on that because in the past I asked the question and it was only new when I ended up contacting somebody later after the meeting. And so if it's changed and it's now new or used, then that's important for me because I have some.
Yeah, it's usually always been. They must have invested in point. It's new.
Okay, at this point, any particular kind? I know you said shoes, but shirts, shorts, dresses.
I would say
anything in particular.
I would say that since we're still dealing with the heat, I would say probably some shorts, maybe some sleeve shirts, of course, tennis shoes or anything like that that they could wear. Dresses, as long as they're long length, we don't want to put them out there in short dresses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is it safe to say just donate what we have and you'll sort through it?
Yeah, we do that. And then whatever we don't use, we donate to someone else that does.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these go directly to the people? They don't get sold at like a thrift store?
No, they go into our vans either right away, or they go into our, what we call a decompression room. We sort it, and then they go into our vans. So that way they're always available to whenever we have it. Because we never know what we're coming across, so we always have clothes in our vans.
They typically wash it before putting it out as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Any other questions?
You had a question, Gwen? Another one?
So regarding that success that you would just comment on, I was taking notes, and you said that there was upwards of 21,000 calls that were
12,000.
12,000. But you also mentioned the number that Harbor has successfully done 350.
Just for June.
For June, I see. And that was out of a total of 2011. So that's almost a quarter. That's a quarter of the total calls for 7 regional circle teams.
I believe Harbor, they change based on each month, of course, because as you know, unhoused individuals move around. New unhoused individuals either come from a different area or become unhoused at some point in time due to many circumstances. And so again, I believe for June, Harbor did have one of the highest call numbers for the month. I believe the only one that was higher in June was Metro at 360.
Do you account for that, for the community being very responsive and actually making more calls? Rather than the need being more, we actually have a very attentive community that asks for help.
It's a combination of all things, I would have to say. I mean, I can't speak firmly on that, it is because more people are becoming unhoused. I don't have those numbers, but given the housing situation in all of California, it would not surprise me. That being said, as Circle exists longer as a program, more people are aware of Circle. More LAPD officers call for the assistance of Circle because they see the benefit in it. It unties their hands so they can deal with real crimes, not just, an individual having a mental health crisis. Because, again, prior to Circle and unarmed response, LAPD were our 24/7, 365 street social workers. They've done a great job, up until then, and they still do. That being said, that's not their training, and it shouldn't be their burden.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask the last question from the table, but I saw a hand out in the audience. And my question is, on occasion you see someone who's experiencing homelessness and they have a dog with them or a pet. What happens in those situations should you come across someone that needs some assistance and they have a pet?
Yeah, it's super common. For a lot of the folks out on the street, their pet is their family. It's their support animal, if you will. Unfortunately, it really depends on the availability of shelter beds that will accept pets at that time. And a lot of people are unwilling to leave their family members to enter into housing. It would be great to see more sorts of shelter that allow animals, but at this point in time, how many do you know that allow? I mean, a lot have changed.
We have 2.
But
2
there's 2 in this area.
Yeah, we have one in Wilmington. We have one in Wilmington and one in San Pedro that will accept animals.
One in Wilmington and where?
In San Pedro, the one right off of Beacon.
Okay. All right.
They really don't like big dogs, just because of the danger of being in communal living type, but they will work around with them too. They find other locations for them too if they can.
Thank you. We have a question from the audience. Lori?
Who? You.
So first of all, I want to remind the board that every single month, the Circle team is at the top of my list of resources here, that they're 24 hours. I thank you guys for the work you do and the results that you're getting. So I believe you have access to the HMIS system. So just to let you guys know, people are entered into this system so they can share information. So if they run across somebody, they'll know, oh, somebody at Harbor Interfaith, or they're working with a case manager. So these are not just individual incidents. The sharing of data is so critical to the success that they're doing. My question to you is, when people are having a psychotic break or something like that, we all know there are not enough housing for people with mental health issues. I know you have a de-escalation at your facility. If you get them calmed down and they do say, yes, I want help, can you tell us a little bit about what places might be available to take those kind of people to?
I think firstly it depends on the type of situation they're having, because sometimes people in, I guess what you described as a psychotic type of state can also have other medical things going on. So it's paramount that they get checked out by a medical professional, because our team doesn't have the medical training to assess somebody. Because again, sometimes some sort of mental illness can be related to things like blood sugar and other sorts of hormone disorders. It could even be something as simple as somebody not having their proper medication, and once they're on it, they no longer need that type of support. So that being said, it depends on the situation that the person is having with their mental state. But if someone is having a mental health crisis, or they're just, I guess you really couldn't classify it as a mental health crisis if they're able to be de-escalated, in the sense that a lot of times these sorts of behaviors that people are displaying are situational to their situation. They're really frustrated. Again, put any of us on the street for 6 months to a year with heat and cold, unkindness from people and other sorts of things, and we might be under that sort of pressure to break as well. That being said, I believe there are a couple facilities, if I'll let Danny speak about that.
Well, the facilities that we still come across, so there's some people that will take them in. We have Soul Housing that does work with mental health. A lot of times we reach out to our resources. As you know, we're very close with Maria Salas at DMH, and we get those type of resources. So it's not just us, like you said, it's all one big information gathering, so we can put in the system, work with each other, and then find out what's the best resource for that person. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all the great work you all do. And thank you.
I would say if the Homelessness Committee wanted a presentation, you can email me and we can set that up. Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of agenda item number 3. We're going to move on to number 4, and that's our homelessness liaison report. Lori?
Good evening, board. Good evening, students, stakeholders. I want to take a moment to thank you guys. Every month you put up with me coming up here talking about the lovely topic of homelessness, and I appreciate the support. I appreciate that you are board members because you care about our community, and in some aspect you want to make the quality of life better for our stakeholders, and I appreciate that. Tomorrow night is probably the last in-person meeting of the CD15 Working Group on Homelessness, and I'm really sad about this because the Neighborhood Council started this group. We decided homelessness really has no borders, and we'd have a stronger voice if all the neighborhood councils in CD15 were working together, sharing information. We met with service providers, health providers, mental health, all different types of organizations. And it really worked well for a long time. I don't know what happened, why neighborhood councils seem to lose their interest. And the reason it's sort of disbanding is the people that were left that were still going were people who go to other meetings and get the same information. So if you want to voice your opinion, if you'd like to resurrect the group, please show up tomorrow night. I'd appreciate it. They're going to talk about at least still having some type of written reports that they'll send information out. You get information from me, but it's a lot more information in the working group. So, and I want to stress to you guys, most of you know, and I'm not shy about this, I am a recovering alcoholic and addict myself. And I know on the path that I was on, that I very well could have been homeless. I was fortunate that I wasn't. We all have our situations. A lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. This is real. This is real, and we need to be more involved. So, take a look at the list I've given you before at how our neighborhood council can participate. Updates, Jesus introduced himself. I have his contact information on the report, so when you're ready to, if you have any questions about the homeless count or want to be involved, Alonzo, you can talk to Jesus. So I have a few updates this month on LASA. One of the things they have is they have a new, what they're calling an interim housing module and matching system to try and improve the way of when somebody, they don't have permanent housing, but they have some temporary housing, how they can match them up. It's not really, it has not been working well in the past. It's not fair, is what I'm going to say. The prioritization, who should get the housing first? The chronically homeless or the person who's just about to become homeless? It's kind of a difficult thing to answer. So if you're interested in, for any students who might be interested in what I'm talking about, this report is on the Neighborhood Council website under nwsanpedro.org, because I have links to anything that you might be interested in. LASA is also trying to make improvements to their what they call PSH, which is permanent supportive housing, like the Beacon's Landing that opened up 2 years ago, which houses 80 people, I believe. Very successful. I also have a list on here of immigrant homeless services resource guides. Very important right now, very important. Share that information with anybody you think might want to know about that. LA County updates. So, you know that well, there was a few motions of interest. I didn't get a chance to watch the supervisors meeting, but they did have a motion implementing an emergency rent relief program to try and prevent evictions and homelessness. I'll have to get an update on that, but I have some details and a link on that. The Measure A spending, which I get asked a lot here by you guys, our quarter-cent increase in sales tax, unfortunately, because retail sales are so far down, we're probably going to end up with less revenue than before we even had the quarter increase. So it's a very difficult job for them to budget this when they don't even know what the revenue is going to be. So they are having budget engagement sessions. I signed up for one this week later on to see if I can learn more information. And if you're interested in listening to one of those, let me know. The Changewell project. So the county has engaged, they're an organization, nonprofit, community engagement. They're having workshops in October. I got nominated to participate in a 2-day workshop. There's going to be about 70 people or so within our service planning area. I'll be representing neighborhood councils, and they're going to try and get a diverse amount of people there, and they just want to try and gather input, elevate insights from across the community to try and build a strong foundation of collaboration, effectiveness, and accountability, because we know with Measure A, we really want to know where our money's going. We don't want to have another LASA audit situation. So I'll report back on that. On the LA City side, I have a couple of council files. If there's a committee who wants to look at these and consider filing a community impact statement, 250837 is on Project Home Key funding. So Project Home Key is where they convert motels or hotels into actual permanent supportive housing. So I've got the link to the motion if you want. I'm not telling you to support it or not support it. I'm just saying somebody put it on your committee, take a look at it and see what you have to say, because our council member likes to get input on these. Another one is 250969, which is withdrawal of legally allowable homelessness funding. I didn't see Drew here. Is Drew here?
She's in the back.
She's in the back? Okay, so she might report on that, and or Jocelyn. And then, as usual in the back, I have a list of resources. Know these resources. And what the Circle team was telling you, that call 877, Ask LAPD, you may be on hold. You know, you may be on hold for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes. But it's worth it if you see somebody in trouble. If it seems really urgent, then please just call 911. But as they explained, the reason because I would like to call Circle Team myself directly, they need the intermediary to take down the information and decide, is it a dangerous situation that we need law enforcement? Or is this something that the Circle Team can go in and de-escalate and, you know, and deal with it there? I do have some information there about some of the issues with the Olympics coming up and what the White House has been doing. You can read through that. Our mayor is very supportive. Okay, she is not planning, planning to move the unhoused out of LA during the Olympics just to hide them. She's going to continue in her efforts to try and get people the resources and the housing that they need. And that's pretty much it for my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Lori. Any questions from around the table? Comments? I see no hands. How about from the audience? And I see a hand out there. You want to come up to the mic?
Yep.
There are the fireworks that hurts my ears.
Oh, the microphone hurts your ears?
No, the fireworks.
Oh, the fireworks. We're not talking about that right now.
LAPD will be here. Maybe you can ask them.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be asking. You're welcome. Anyone? Any other questions? Gwen.
I actually just have a comment. Lori's report is always extremely informative, and I hope that any of you would go on the site and possibly look at it and look at all the information, because there may be a time where something on here, a phone number, you may want to use it, and it's all here. Lori makes it as easy as possible. And it's a fantastic resource to just have, stick it somewhere, like on the refrigerator. But
Thank you. And please remember, this is a humanitarian issue and people are dying on the streets every single day. Don't mean to be dramatic, but that's the truth. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that comes to the end on agenda item number 4. Moving on to number 5. And this is where we get to hear from our elected representatives, our governmental representatives, and public safety. So I think I saw, there's Drew here and Jocelyn. Did I see Jocelyn here? There you are. I can't see you. And then we have LAPD here. So shall we go with the mayor's office first?
Also, for the record, Christina Calandra arrived at 6:33 p.m., so we have 12 board members here.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members and students. It's always great to see such a packed room of youth being civically engaged, especially at such a critical time like we are now. So I do have a few updates, very brief updates this morning, or let me go back. So previously the mayor did have a restraining order against federal ICE agents to stop the ICE raids in our city. This morning, the Supreme Court did rule to allow racial profiling in the city of Los Angeles. So I am going to read to you the statement from the mayor. And it says, I want the entire nation to hear me when I say this isn't just an attack on the people of Los Angeles. This is an attack on every person in every city in this country. Today's ruling is not only dangerous, it's an un-American and threatens the fabric of personal freedom in the United States of America. Today, the highest court in the country ruled that the White House and mass federal agents can racially profile Angelenos with no due process, snatch them off the street with no evidence or warrant, and take them away with no explanation. This decision will lead to more working families being torn apart and fear of the very institutions meant to protect, not persecute our people. Let me be clear, we will not allow the White House nor the Supreme Court to divide us. And to all Angelinos, I will never stop fighting for your rights, your dignity, and your safety. Despite this administration's efforts to threaten them, we will stand united. And to just kind of go back to some of the things that the mayor has done so far to advocate for our immigrant communities, she did pass or sign her executive directive requiring all departments to have protocols and training in compliance with the city's laws prohibiting use of city resources in immigration enforcement and deliver preparedness plans. It also called to establish a working group with LAPD, the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, immigrant rights organizations, and community leaders to gather feedback in order to inform additional guidance for police officers when responding to immigration enforcement activities. It also called for seeking records from the federal government relating to unlawful raids, expanding access to resources from city departments to immigrant families by leveraging each department's designated, having a designated immigrant affairs liaison. The mayor has also visited businesses who have been impacted since the ICE raids began, such as in Boyle Heights, the Westlake Pico Union area, and Little Tokyo. We have met with community leaders, immigrant rights organization elected officials, and we also gathered volunteers through our Shine LA initiative to revitalize the areas that were vandalized by individuals that took advantage of the chaos created by the federal government. And we had led more than 100 labor, business, and community leaders and immigrant rights groups calling for an end to immigration raids. We have also hosted webinars to make resources and information available to impacted businesses. And we were able to organize direct cash assistance with no cost to taxpayers for families impacted by recent immigration raids by partnering with philanthropy and the private sector. Other updates include updates to come. One of them is related to LAPD. The mayor has been very clear in her support for LAPD and helping them increase their recruitment numbers. We all know that LAPD is severely understaffed. So sometime this week, her next executive directive will be released to help streamline the process for their personnel. Because we know, again, they're short-staffed, and it's not because we have a shortage of applicants. We actually have seen an increase in applicants wanting to join the force, but we just need to kind of streamline that process. So more to come on that this week. And then also, we did have an incredible Shine LA in, what month is it? In July. We had a Shine LA site in the North Harbor Gateway. I know, I see a few familiar faces in this room who were there, and we also had one in Wilmington. Both were incredibly successful. The mayor stopped at both of them. We did have to postpone our Shine LA from last month due to the extreme heat that we were experiencing, but we will be back this month. And please, if any of you have a Shine LA idea or would like to join us or host a Shine LA here in San Pedro, please let me know. And we do want to expand past just community cleanups. So if you have a mural, a community garden, just any kind of beautification project that you want to bring to your community, please feel free to reach out. And I'm happy to work with you to make that happen. Those are all of my updates.
Okay. Any questions for the mayor's representative, Jocelyn? Yes, Alan. Yeah, please, thank you.
You mentioned the secretary is trying to recruit, or it is successfully recruiting additional applicants to the police department. Most people here have probably seen some of the TV ads by Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, specifically trying to recruit law enforcement personnel to join Homeland Security and ICE. Do you know what kind of an impact that's had on LAPD?
I'm not sure. So the update I had was specific to LAPD, that we've seen an increase in applicants specifically for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm not aware of an increase in applicants for a federal agency, so I wouldn't have a response to that.
Any other questions? Justin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Drew? Where? There she is. Could have sworn I saw you over there earlier.
Was taking a tour of the auditorium,
All right, that's
looking at all these beautiful students here.
an e-ticket for those of you who knows what they are.
If I have a document, who do I give it to for review? All right, I'll bring this to you.
How do you put that song in my head? She's got a ticket to rock.
Philip 66.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Drew Leach. I am the San Pedro Field Deputy for LA City Council Member Tim McOsker. Great to be here tonight. I'm going to start with a document that I gave to Ray. It is an NOP, which means Notice of I think it's publication. Preparation, that's what I thought. Notice of preparation for the 5 Points Union, which is the Phillips. What is that noise?
66.
Is there feedback?
That's the one.
Mike?
Yes.
No, it's some noise over here.
The speaker.
Yeah, it's a speaker.
Oh.
There's like a buzzing from the speaker. Do you hear it?
We can hear you.
Okay. There we go. So the notice of preparation was released together with a comment period for the 5 Points Union project from Phillips 66. The city will consider all written comments regarding the potential environmental impacts of the project and issues to be addressed in the EIR, which is an environmental impact report. If you wish to submit comments, please reference the environmental case number ENV-2025-3744-EIR and submit them in writing by Friday, September 12th, no later than 4:30 p.m. Please direct your comments to Kathleen King at the City of Los Angeles. She can be reached by email at Kathleen, KATHLEEN, .king at lacity.org. And the document has been given to Ray so he can distribute that. It's 12 pages, so it's all a single document. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about charter reform. The Los Angeles City Charter Reform Commission has officially formed and begun meeting to examine our city's governing framework, the city charter. Students, raise your hand if you know what the Constitution of the United States is. Did you guys know that the city of LA has its own constitution? It is called the Charter, and we're looking at changing it up. All right, so here's how it goes. The Charter sets the framework for sets the framework for the rules for how our city operates, how decisions are made, and how responsibilities are distributed to elected officials. The commission is hosting meetings throughout the city to hear from Angelenos. The next one is this weekend at 9 a.m. on Saturday, September 13th at the LA Harbor College. This opportunity will give our community members some time to learn more, raise concerns, make suggestions, and engage in the conversation. The 2025 Commission will focus on a number of important areas, including whether the size of the City Council should be increased, since our current districts each represent more than 250,000 people, and whether that size prevents constituents from being served effectively. Another issue will be how much authority the council should hold in land use decisions, which significantly impact our neighborhoods. And an area that personally matters to the council member is clarifying the role that neighborhood councils have in our city decisions. At a time when public trust in government is understandably weak, this commission will give us a chance to reshape our local government so it is more transparent, more accountable, and more reflective of the people that we serve. Emergency Preparedness Town Hall. We, together with our San Pedro neighborhood councils, will be hosting an emergency preparedness town hall this Wednesday, September 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. There are flyers at the table over there. This will be an important opportunity to learn about emergency preparedness from our city agencies and community partners. In this town hall, we will present how the city will respond for the public in case of emergency from agencies such as the Fire Department, the Emergency Management Department, the Rec and Parks Department's Emergency Management Division, which manages emergency shelters, the Port of Los Angeles, SoCal Gas, MySafe LA, Caltrans, and more. We hope to see you there. Will anybody from the Northwest, I know that Melanie is out. Is there somebody from Northwest that would like to speak at the emergency preparedness event? Because we're giving some time for the neighborhood councils to speak in case they have something that they wanted to say about what they're doing towards emergency preparedness. If not, no sweat, but I wanted to offer it to you as an opportunity.
What, how much time are you giving?
7 minutes or less. Bob Gelfand wants to give a PowerPoint. I have to talk to Doug about that one.
Drew, I'll be there at the setting the table and everything.
You'll be there for the table, great.
Yeah.
I'll be there from 5 o'clock p.m. It starts at 6. So if you want to set up your table, I'd have it set up by like 5:30 for all the people that start walking in.
Yeah.
And then we have a hard end at 8. So what the structure is, every agency will have up to 10 minutes to give a presentation. There's going to be quite a few agencies there, and then we'll break into question and answer. We'll also have some Caltrans and Port LA representatives to answer questions in case there's anything surrounding what do we do if there's a closure, how do we handle traffic patterns, whatnot. So we're going to try to have everybody there. All right.
That's it?
I have just 2 more things.
Okay.
Legislative update. This last Wednesday, the council member introduced a resolution in support of Senate Bill 34, authored by State Senator Laura Richardson, which promotes a more collaborative approach to reducing emissions at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. SB 34 builds on the significant progress our ports have already made in improving air quality while protecting jobs and ensuring our ports remain competitive. The bill works to promote voluntary enforceable agreements between the ports and regulators rather than rigid mandates that could drive cargo and jobs out of state or foreign ports with weaker environmental standards. SB 34 helps to strike the right balance between advancing clean air goals, protecting our economy, and securing the good-paying jobs that sustain the working families in the harbor area. And finally, the Pure Water Los Angeles is a joint program by the Department of Water Power and LA Sanitation that aims to create a sustainable supply of safe drinking water by purifying recycled water. The project aims to produce up to 230 million gallons of purified water per day, helping LA transition to a 70% local water supply. The environmental review process is now underway, and the city is preparing a program environmental impact report under CEQA. Community members can share their input by email, mail, online, or at a virtual scoping meeting on September 10th, 12th, or 20th, with comments accepted through October 12th at 5 o'clock p.m. Email comments to Pure Water Los Angeles at ladwp.com and visit purewaterlosangeles.com for more details. That's all I have today.
All right. Well, thank you.
Oh, I do have a quick update on the Paraiso situation. So,
Paraiso, you say?
Yeah, Paraiso Street. So Ray was a little bit more intimately involved in this. There were some issues with some RVs and some encampments in the light industrial zone off of Paraiso and Basin in Battery Streets. We worked hard with LAPD, Officer Loney is back here, and our other homeless service providers to do outreach and offer services and get them to move. But one of the issues was there were still folks that were creating issues even throughout the night. So the council member moved to designate the area a no parking at any time between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. for any vehicles. So that passed in council, it passed the transportation committee, and then it passed the full council vote. So that light industrial zone will be no parking for any vehicles overnight between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Furthermore, we installed a commercial zone in front of the storage facility in order to allow for commercial trucks and bigger trucks that help people move in and out to be able to use that space without it being taken up.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's I go by there almost every day, and every so often you'll see a RV there, and but I really appreciate what Tim's office was doing to help clear that out, because it really got overpopulated with RVs. Thank you for that. Would like to kind of bring us back to one piece, the NOP. The NOP, as if you've read it, is only, the public comment period is only 30 days. 30 days public comment does not work for neighborhood councils. If neighborhood councils are going to do their work and they're going to do it correctly, they're going to go put this out so that community can come and talk to them through one of our committees. And then in turn, the committee recommendation will be put to the larger board like we have today. And at the very, very, very least, we need an extension of 60 days on that original 30 days. I presented the council member with a letter formally asking for a 60-day extension. And it was signed by Central, Coastal, Wilmington, neighborhood councils, so that because we need that. It just does not work if they're asking for 30. The big problem is going to be that when they complete their information and they publish their draft EIR, what's going to happen is that they're going to give a 45-day period for public comment. And I'll say it again, 45 days just will not work for neighborhood councils
So
if
you
we're
need
going to
90
do our
days
work
total?
right. Pardon me?
90 days total?
We need a 90-day public comment period if they're going to allow neighborhood councils to do the job that they're chartered to do. And that's important. For those of you who have gone by the Phillips 66 plant off of Anaheim and Gaffey, that's 400 plus acres of refinery equipment and tanks and things like that. Not to mention, for us who live in Northwest San Pedro, we are dealing with Rancho LPG, the natural gas people there.
The liquefied petroleum gas.
Yes, right there on Westmont and Gaffey. They are going to take it out. However, we've been asking them that we need to really make sure that we are not going to be victimized longer with that plant or any of the work that's going to be done to neutralize that plant. So I'm hoping that we're going to get some kind of feedback from the council member about that. I haven't heard anything back, but we do have a phone call from Kathleen King, who's going to talk to us, but she has already told us no to the extension. She's told Coastal, and she's told us in Northwest.
All right, I'll elevate this.
A flat no.
Yeah.
And but she leaves a little carrot out there. She says, but it's okay if we'll accept your comments after the public comment period is closed. Now, there's something wrong with that process. You're either going to accept it or you're not. And this is city planning that's kind of going around.
All right.
I think it's disingenuous of them to do what they're doing and not allow a neighborhood council with all the young people out here who are learning what city process is all about, and then find that we have built-in speed bumps in getting things done. It's just horrible. And that is a big facility that affects every single person here in Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, Wilmington, Harbor City, and the rest of the communities in San Pedro. So I really do hope that we get some kind of opportunity to be able to really get them the comments that we have for them, because I've heard some really terrific ideas coming from different people here around the table as to what can happen. We already know what they're going to be building there, warehouses. And so I don't think we're going to tell them this is what we don't want you to do anything about it. Yeah, we would love to see that whole facility just shut down. But I think it behooves the organization to allow us, the community, to be able to talk a little bit about what it is that we'd like to see on that facility. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some hands up. I'm going to go ahead and take some questions. So we'll start on this end and work our way around. So
if I could just add on to that point, I think that when I saw the presentation for 5 Points, I was excited about this opportunity and the possibility. And now I realize, being so close, it's actually quite scary about the possibility of how are they taking this apart? How are they decommissioning, and the impact that it's going to have with taking apart these tanks and all of that equipment, because I didn't realize how close and how much of it there is. And I really was hoping to have more time to ask about that. So if we had more time, because I was all about, yay, let's talk about the environment of what it's going to be, and wasn't even thinking about the impact of how is this even going to happen and affect us, because I think we're looking at 2058 by the time it's actually built.
10 years down the road, so like 2035.
Well,
you bring up a good point. You have experts working that project, architects, developers. You have scientists of every makeup telling us what's great for our community. The problem is that we as community members need a little bit more time to understand what is there in front of us and how to neutralize that, or how we can live with that, or how it's going to affect us as community members. And it's going to affect us. I think you can hear the fact that I'm not too happy about what's happening out of planning, that they won't see and give us the time we need to do
All
our
right.
job.
I'll see if I could get you some feedback before the end of the week.
Thank you. Anyone else on this side? Yeah, I'm going to go around the table. Anyone on here? Okay, Vic, and then we'll go to that side.
For the charter reform and the meeting and the emergency prep town hall, is there going to be any availability for virtual participation for those who cannot attend in person?
I do not believe so. I do not know about the Charter Reform Commission. Doug can speak to it. Want to come on up? Sure.
Right now?
I'll share the mic.
For those who may not know me, I'm Doug Upperhart. I serve on the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, and I am the chair of the Boards of Neighborhood Commissioners Charter Reform Ad Hoc Committee. So I'm expected to know this stuff. In fact, their meetings are hybrid. You can watch them via Zoom, or you can also call in. They do take remote comment. So if you would like to make comment, you can use your phone, or you can do Zoom. And they start at 9 a.m.
Will they also be recorded so they can be viewed later?
They are all recorded, and I highly recommend that if you're interested, go to the Charter Reform website, and you will find all of the past meetings they've held. You will find all of the materials and presentations they get. Everything is there. They're very transparent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I think I saw Kane and Gwen's hand up, right? Oh, and Angela. So Kane?
I just wanted to, my name is Kane. I just wanted to echo what Ray was saying in terms of the collaboration and the opportunity to collaborate and provide rich feedback and comments. As you know, we have a joint committee. So the three councils are working, and so we, in representing the 1-5, we think that as this is a long-term project, this is a great opportunity to show that unity in this particular project. And so it's not just necessarily just talking to talk, which sometimes it can be frustrating, but ultimately there's going to be some rich feedback that's going to come, that's going to include everybody.
Got it. Thank you.
Gwen.
Well, now I have two items, but regarding the NOP, this body, the Port and Environment and Sustainability Committee, this group has repeatedly sent letters requiring for port environmental issues a 90-day period, and never come back and say 30 days. And of course, this is port related. It's not actually port, it's oil and gas, but it is one of the heady environmental issues that we have. We actually created a motion that would stop. Part of the process that you have to go through normally is that a committee has to ask for a motion and vote in committee to ask the president to approve and extend and ask for a formal letter to extend that time, and then we go through the whole process just to get an extension, and that takes time. So what we did is we actually created a rule, a standing rule, that the president, as soon as these EIRs come in, can request this, period. But it had always been, as a second thing, we asked that it always be 90 days. Do not play this little game, because it always is. These environmental issues are big. The DEIRs are like 500 pages thick. Somebody's got to read through those, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hardcore stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if you need another letter.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, wait, the commission.
Second issue.
So, Doug Everhart, thank you for being on that commission, but this is probably one of the most important things that is going on right now in the city of Los Angeles. The commission actually asked in the last meeting that people give their input, give their recommendations, because our city is kind of antiquated. This hasn't been looked at for a very, very long time. We have a lot of rebuilding and making efficient, huge departments that are just meandering and everything. I don't know if you guys try to get a hold of anybody in any department, but sometimes you go through a maze and you can't get to anybody
We
at all.
call it department land.
Yes, it's department land. And this is the opportunity for inventive, smart, new people to come up with something that's much more streamlined. And it's a job, and you guys everybody should be involved in this. In fact, I'm part of the Community Forestry Advisory Committee, and there's a whole series of things regarding the Department of Sanitation and all these different organizations within the city of Los Angeles that just do one thing: plant trees. That's all they do. And it goes everywhere, and watering the trees goes everywhere. And just that one item alone, and that's not the only thing that the Community Forestry Advisory Committee is working on. That's the kind of stuff that they are going to be giving a lot of input on. There's stuff like that that's crazy out there. So give your input, please.
Angela.
I just have a real quick thank you, actually. A friend of mine who's a property owner has been dealing with ongoing dumping across the street from his property. And I told him to call the 311, or to put in a 311. And a couple weeks in a row, they kept getting marked as resolved when they weren't. So I said, call Tim McCosker's office. And he did, and someone went out there, investigated it, and then had it cleared like almost immediately. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That is awesome, and maybe a chance to plug the 311 app for the guests.
Yes, if you see bulky items, if you see graffiti, anything, dead animals on the street, please call 311 or use the MyLA 311 app. I use 311. It is great. Although sometimes there are hiccups where you report a bulky item or an illegal dump on 311 and they don't get it. And if that's the case, reach out to us and we'll make sure it gets taken care of.
Okay.
We have a secret weapon called the Clean Team.
So we'll go out to the audience, and I see one hand up so far, and that's Lori.
Not to beat a dead horse, but perhaps we could tie in the charter reform. How many times have we dealt with major planning issues where we weren't given enough time, and then we had to waste our time just trying to get an extension? Perhaps that could be a charter reform thing that Councilmember McCosker could look at, that when you have major planning and land use issues, just give us the 90 days up front. You know, Tim has always been supportive of neighborhood council input, but we can't do it with the Brown Act unless we have the 90 days. So perhaps we can tie these things together. Thanks, Drew.
Any other comments, questions from the audience? Okay. Drew,
Right.
thank you so
Sure
much.
thing.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And public safety. Daniel always brings up the rear.
Brings up the rear. They ain't even gonna touch that one. Hey, Daniel.
It's a military term.
Daniel.
Good evening, everybody. Officer Baloney, the senior lead officer for Northwest San Pedro. Hope everyone's having a good night. So, just to go over some crime stats, we have a decrease in every single crime, or not an increase, so it's a 0% change in homicide, rape, aggravated assault, burglary, motor vehicle theft from motor vehicles, and thefts. The only increase we had was an increase in robberies, and this is comparing July to August. So it was only a slight increase of robberies from 1 to 5, but overall a decrease in crime of 31%. A notable arrest in the area for San Pedro, there's actually and I combed through all the arrests and the files and stuff, there was an individual that was going around the San Pedro area and touching women and stuff inappropriately for his sexual gratification. We had one officer that was in the area when this was happening, when a radio call was generated. And I like this arrest because when I read the report, it went over how the community assisted and how the proactiveness and forward thinking of the officer helped out as well. So the community, when the act occurred, there was a witness that observed the act occurring and took photos, and also when the victim went to call 911, this witness safely followed the suspect and actually found out where the person lived. And the officer that responded, who was just in the area, due to the timeliness, it really helped out the situation and his investigative skills. And collaboratively, they were able to take the person into custody. And lo and behold, this same MO and description of the suspect matched about 4 to 5 different incidents that occurred in the area. So it's actually really good that the community helped out and the officer was able to help out and get this person off the street and get them arrested. And it also helped that the victim was able to come forward and call the police and work with us and to help, because, or else maybe other people might have been victimized as well. Some events. We had South Traffic come to our division, and they were able to do a safety seminar in terms of what they do, and they provided a pretty valuable resource. I put a packet in the back of the QR code that's available. With this QR code, you're able to see what resources that South Traffic has, and that includes submitting for traffic enforcement complaints. So if you need like a stop sign or they're speeding, etc., if you click on the QR code and you click on the tab that says request enforcement, it'll go to an officer, and then they'll assign it to an officer, and it should be dealt with. And the good thing is it's documented, and you should have a result. Also, this weekend we're doing the plane pull in Long Beach. LAPD, us officers, we raised a couple $1,000s. We're going to pull the plane to support Special Olympics. So we're looking forward to that event on Saturday. We're going to have our CPAB meeting on September 25th at 6 o'clock at Harbor Station, the community room. And October 24th, so this is the first time we've done this. I know this is way in advance, but we're going to do a haunted house. So if anyone has little brothers or sisters, or if you'd like to join, We're going to put together a haunted house, and we're going to have like a trunk or treat in the parking lot. Should be a pretty cool event, and hopefully it's going to be something, as good as that National Night Out that we had, and we're hoping for a great turnout. So really, if you really have little brothers and sisters, please bring them down to our police station. It's, again, October 24th between the hours of 6 to 9, and we'll have a flyer closer to the time, but please, it should be a good one. So that's all I have at this time. Any questions?
So, questions from around the table, and I see Chris's hand up.
I had a question. Right. Given that your crime numbers are coming out of Northwest San Pedro, when you see significant increases, and it may not be a great question, how often can you say, like, let's say you have an increase in burglaries or robberies, is it more often that a individual or a small group of people is committing more of these acts, or is there like a trend that, like, for some reason more assaults are happening or whatever? Or is it when you're talking about a smaller area, could you sort of point to a small number of people and go, this person's kind of responsible for us going from 1 to 5 burglaries or whatever?
Yeah, so usually with the crime trend, so say there's a single act, it's a solo incident, okay, but then it becomes a pattern, and then it gets maybe a little bit more attention because now we're like, okay, there's something else going on here, and different crimes happen, right? People could have a relationship with somebody, and different things can, evolve out of that. But for the most part, like, say for example, we had like the high theft for motor vehicles when they were breaking into cars, right? It was just really odd, and that 20 to 30 cars a night were getting broken into, and that was happening on a multi-day basis over the course of several weeks. And the thing was that the person was being arrested and stuff like that, and it was a juvie, so that process played out, and it just kept occurring. But like, say for this one with the female that got sexual battery, the detectives that are assigned to that crime category, there's like different tables, it's called. So they work either domestic violence, robbery, burglary. It's their duty to identify trends and then try to resolve that. And then obviously the patrol officers are doing the reports and doing et cetera. And then the detectives will identify a trend, and then they got to come up with a solution on how to do that. And usually after a certain amount of time, the person will be taken into custody, and then it'll drop off.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that answers it.
Yeah, thanks.
Anyone else from around the table?
Yeah.
Ray.
Is there anything that we can do to support the haunted house as far as manpower for volunteers?
So let me get back with the organizer. It's going to be Officer Bravo. So let me talk to her. And thank you so much for offering any assistance. I'll definitely get back to you on that, because all the help is super appreciative. So.
That's a good question.
Go ahead, John.
Hey, Russ,
wait, can you hang on? We're hearing a lot of stuff coming from the audience, so I'm hoping that maybe we can keep it down a little bit so we can hear what's going on up here. Thank you, John.
Hey, Russ, so, I get home, I take the bridges, from 710 and home. And as you know, from the light there on Miraflores, right? The traffic is horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
The turning lanes. And I've watched people just run the red light. Even when we're waiting for cars to go across off the 110, going into past, Gaffey and going into, I watch them in the left turning lane, just 2-3 cars at a time, run the red light.
Yeah.
And then when you get stuck, and then people blocking, trying to get through where we're in front of Big Nick's and all that. Guys are lining up from farther back to make the left turn, and guys are stuck there trying to get a left turn, and they blocked it because they want to make left. It's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll try to conduct some enforcement there. I'll also talk to Officer Rowe, the traffic officer, but I'll also try to maybe reach out to DOT, or I'll work with Drew in regards to maybe the engineering of it with the timing of the lights. I feel like, in my experience when I'm driving there, it's that turn light. It creates like a back thing, so
yeah.
I'll try to help out there, though, so
Yeah.
we'll help out.
And on the haunted house thing, really just let the people go through the police station. That should scare the.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
It's empty.
Okay, we'll move on.
And that's me
You
scared.
think I was going to let them go, did you?
Any other questions from around the table? Gwen? Quick one, please.
So who counts fender benders, accidents, and things like that? And, is there something like more accidents at that intersection or anything like that?
So that would be Officer Rowe could speak on that. So when accidents occur, and if they're reported, they'll go down to South Traffic Division, and there are statistics for that. Are you looking for something specific, or?
No, they just, yeah.
Yeah, so South Traffic, he has all those numbers. Sometimes he comes to presentations and he'll be able to give them and provide them, like types of injuries, hit and runs, DUIs, etc. So if you want, I can give you his information and you just reach out to him, boom. And yeah.
Thank you. Any question? Excuse me, from the audience? I see no hands. All right. Well, thank you very much, Officer Bologna.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. We have one more city representative. And I always save him for last because the guy just is so full of information. So your attention, because you're going to learn so much from this guy.
Jokes.
No jealous. I'm impressed.
Hey, that's your friend.
That's your president. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Johnson. I am the Neighborhood Empowerment Advocate. I work for the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. I am the one of the many folks who support the Neighborhood Council. I have a few updates for you all tonight in regards to any and everything. First thing being your Zoom and Canva license. That information has been, not your information to log in, right? The information that you have voted and passed these things have been provided to me already. I will make sure that information gets into the powers to be so that you can empower yourself to use Zoom. So hopefully that comes to you all in the next couple of weeks, a few weeks. We did open up a second round to be able to do so. Let's not say so many times. Board member Mondays, please nominate a board member to be highlighted on a Monday. You can reach out to our comms division if you would like to submit that, or you can reach out to me as well. As you may know, our department likes to do its best in highlighting the neighborhood council board members as well as the wonderful work that you all are doing. I'm timing myself up here. Was supposed to say, oh, board structure changes are open. So your bylaw amendment period is open. It is very critical that you all look at Article 14, which is the compliance section, your training section, because if you do not know, you are required, or it is mandated that you have all your trainings completed in order to vote. The only training that will get you, the only training that is possible for you to be suspended by is the code of conduct training, which is normally is the first one you should complete as you join the board. I say that because in that section under training, if your neighborhood council has a time frame in it, the department and you all are supposed to honor that time frame. However, if it doesn't have a time frame in it saying that all trainings must be completed in 30 days, then that means that you all have to have those trainings completed. The moment you're missing one or one is expired, you're no longer eligible to vote that night until you complete either or trainings. What happens is, due to an ordinance, the gender bias and the implicit bias trainings are mandated by the city ordinance, okay? Literally. So a lot of questions come back of which one is which and why. It is all there in regards to the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners Code of Conduct, the mandated trainings, which is those two, as well as the funding policy, which says you cannot even vote on any items unless you complete all trainings. That is updated. If you would like that information, I could happily provide that to you via email. And if you would like to double check, you can do that as well. Last but not least, SB 707. I will be providing this via email, so I won't go off too much about it, but SB 707 is the Brown Act modernization. I will include these key provisions in it to give more clarity of how it will impact the neighborhood councils. It involves multilingual agendas, remote participation and accessibility, teleconferencing flexibility, outreach transparency and accountability, as well as the compensation transparency. So all this will have a little bit more detail in the update I'll give to you, so you can have a better clarity of what SB 707 is supposed to achieve and how is it supposed to impact the neighborhood councils as well. Other than that, we do have some information in regards to the Metro's Public Safety Advisory Committee. This is happening September 16, 2025. And you must be a resident of the Los Angeles County in order to apply to be on this Public Safety Advisory Committee. That information will also be provided via email. And save the best for last. The Congress of Neighborhoods, because we're all excited about the Congress of Neighborhoods. It is happening Saturday, September 27th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Los Angeles City Hall. Again, this year's theme is LA Strong. This is a free conference for the LA. This is a free conference being provided by the Los Angeles Neighborhood Councils, all 99 of them. So it's a free event. Bring your family, friends, children, neighbors, cousins, aunties from the south, from the east, and bring them out here, Canada too, if you will. It'll be a fun event for everybody to check out, because everybody needs to have a neighborhood council, not just in California or Los Angeles. They still have one everywhere else as well. Other than that, I'm here at the table because they took up all the seats. And as I walked up here, I did hear one of them say that the haunted house wouldn't be scary, and being put in jail at the haunted house wouldn't be as scary as sitting here and not getting a paperwork signed, listening to y'all speak. I'm sitting at the table. Have a good night.
Hang on, we got a question.
He said no questions.
Yes.
So regarding the training
Yes.
information you mentioned.
Yes.
So just to clarify, the rule is, without any caveats in the bylaws, that all 5 trainings must be completed to vote on anything at all.
Anything.
Okay, if we have a caveat where, once something expires, people have 60 calendar days to complete, to renew their training, then, except for funding matters, I'll come to that later. It is still okay for them to vote on non-funding matters during that time frame?
So this is a conversation that I want to be clear that we continuously have in the department. It's not necessarily just if something expires. What happens when we appoint somebody that night or they're newly elected and they haven't done it? So if they're newly elected, I think that time frame works in terms of support. And I don't want to say that our department trumps the bylaws and the ordinance and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's clear how those things operate. And so if the neighborhood council feels that if it expires, let's give people time, 60 days to 30 additional days to try to figure things out, I think we can support that.
Okay.
But what tends to happen, and this is where I don't want the crutch to come in at, is now people aren't just doing their trainings because it's expired and they're like, well, we got 60 days. So it'll be a case-by-case basis, to be clear, but nothing can trump the mandates that are set forth and having all trainings completed. Because that conversation comes up 100%, and I'm glad you asked that question. Is it, hey, I did everything else. Can I still vote, just not on funding items? And that answer is no, because the mandate is you need all trainings in order to vote, period, right? And so we could take that on a case by case. Things happen, people's lives happen. And so I think there's some support that can be offered there. But I know for me as your NEA and with the rest of my neighborhood councils, I draw a firm line of no. And if you need help completing your trainings, let's get it done. Other than that, I wouldn't want each individual to start trying to, puzzle and maze around completing training so they can still vote. I'm very firm. I tell folks, hey, you can't vote, but you can still show up to this table and provide your opinion and give input, because that's what they can do. Only time they can't is if the code of conduct hasn't been completed. Then they're suspended off the board. They don't count towards quorum. They should sit in the audience or might not even attend if they don't want to.
So even if our bylaws currently state that that somebody who is either has expired training or is newly appointed has 60 days to complete the training, you're saying that that no longer applies?
I'm saying your bylaw amendment period is open now, and we could answer that by time.
No, but it's in there right now.
Yes, it currently exists in there now.
So we have been working on that by that wording, by that time frame.
Yes.
Until now, if I understand you correctly. The question is, since the bylaws currently state a 60-day grace period effectively, does that still apply based on what you said, or does that just got killed just now?
No. In the beginning, I shared that we will allow the time frame and honor the time frame. So to answer your question directly, yes, right? However, the bylaw amendment period is open now.
Right.
That might not suffice moving forward. I'm not aware of that at this moment. But honoring your grace period has been something for a year. And if we were to move forward and align Article 14 compliance in your bylaws with that mandate, then we will take away that time frame, right? So as it states right now, yes, the grace period is being honored. And I want us to do the honorable thing by completing our trainings before 60 days, right? So I believe, and I'll say this in full voice, your grace period is us supporting you as a neighborhood council and newly appointed board members, right? So I don't want to go back and forth about the grace period because it's there to support. It's not there for you to slack off, right? Anyone to slack off and just forget about it and then just say, well, I got 60 days. And to your question, yes, they still do have 60 days, but it's also like we're all adults. Let's work together. Let's get it done so that when you really do need those 60 days, medical emergency, something happens, you can honor that and you have that grace period to support you. So, yes.
So basically, the grace period is okay now, but it may not be come April of next year?
I have no clue with that, but I always like to think ahead. So yeah. But 60 days is great.
So we really need to move on, but maybe you can have that conversation with him off the... So anyone else around the table?
Yes.
I've been doing one-on-one sessions. Thank you for everyone that has been taking a moment to meet with me one-on-one. Please continue that. Don't hesitate. Conversations about the board. If you've been here for a while, if you're new, please just reach out, schedule a one-on-one. They've been amazing, and I've been bragging about them since I've been having them. Everyone's amazing. So thank you for taking the time to take up my time to support you. And please continue to do so every Thursday and Fridays. It's wide open for you all to schedule, 30 minutes to an hour, via video, phone, or just call me out to San Pedro and show me the city. I'm open to that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm here at the table sitting with you all.
Let me make sure there's no one from the audience that needs to ask
No one, none of me.
Any questions, comments from the audience?
You can do it too.
I
Don't let nobody say you can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adrian. What you have?
No, what was the SB?
SB 707. I'll send you all updates and email tonight, right now as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. That will conclude agenda item number 5. We are going to move on to 6, our consent calendar. We have a few. I'm going to run down them real quick. Let me know if anyone wants to pull any of these out. A is the approval of the July 14th board and stakeholder meeting minutes. B, approve the 11th of August board meeting minutes. C is approve the appointment of Adrian Fernandez as a community impact statement filer. D, approve the appointment of Vic Christensen as a community impact statement filer. Approve the appointment of Lori Jacobs as homelessness liaison for another year. Approve the appointment of Melanie Lebrecht as Region 12 grievance panel representative. And the last one, to approve the August 2025 budget. This is out of Budget and Finance. Everything, no one wants to pull anything out? I don't see any hands. Can I get a motion, please?
I motion that we pass these.
Kelly makes the motion, and Adrian will second. Any discussion? Yes, sir. King?
How many community impact statement filers do we have at the moment?
That'll make 3.
3?
Yeah.
Thank you.
One, and then this would make 3 with these 2.
So a total of 3?
There'll
A
be
total of 3 if this approves.
Thank you.
Any other question, comment? Okay, let's take the vote.
Okay, we do have one person who doesn't have all their training completed, so Chris, you won't be able to vote on this because it includes a funding matter.
Sure.
So for the consent calendar, Christina Barbera,
Yes.
John Barbera,
Yes.
Christina Calandra,
Yes.
Vic Christensen, I, Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Gwen Henry,
Yes.
Alonzo Jenkins,
Yes.
Kelly Miller,
Yes.
Kay Nicholas,
Yes.
Ray Regalado,
Yes?
Angela Sumner.
Yes.
Okay, that is 11 ayes and 1 ineligible.
All right. Audience, for those of you all who are having a conversation on the side, we can really hear you pretty loud on this side. So I don't want to have to ask again, but please, can you let us get through our meeting so that we can all get out of here quick? I truly appreciate that. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to agenda item number 7, motions. We have 2 motions. The first one is from Budget and Finance. John?
This is for the MER, and which is the monthly expenditure report. It's not a motion. I guess we didn't have to worry about it.
It's out of committee?
Huh?
No.
It's out of committee?
It's out of committee.
No,
No?
we didn't have the MER available
right.
at the time of the
So
committee,
now I
so
need- yeah,
it
so I
will
need a
need a
motion
first
then.
and a second.
Okay. So on this one here, I'm going to need a motion.
So moved.
Gwen?
Okay.
Second?
Second.
King?
Okay.
Discussion? Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none? Go ahead.
Okay.
Take the
I'm going to
vote.
take the count. Christina
Yes.
Which Christina?
Barbera, sorry. John Barbera, yes. Victor Christensen,
Aye.
Ray Regalado,
Yes.
Kane Nichols,
Yes.
Christina
Yes.
okay, thank you. Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Cynthia Ganja not here. April Jones ain't here. Gwen Henry,
Yes.
Melanie LeBrecht's not here. Kelly Miller,
Yes.
Thomas Norman's not here. Angela Sumner,
Yes.
Chris Maillet can't. Alonzo Jenkins,
Yes.
okay. We got 11, so that passed. I'll fix that. Okay. Our next one is a motion to approve the amended FY 2025 to 2026 budget with the rollover funds.
Does that also need a motion?
Yes, I think it does, right? No, it doesn't?
Says out of committee.
It was out, oh, that's right, we did do it. Okay. This one's out of committee, so we'll take the vote. Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Well, we'll make comment. We've got to call for for comments.
Okay. Are there any comments?
No comments, go ahead.
Okay. Christina Barbera?
Yes.
John Barbera, yes. Victor Christensen?
Aye.
Ray Regalado?
Yes.
Kane Nichols?
Yes.
Christina Calandra?
Yes.
He spelled it wrong. Adrian Fernandez?
Yes.
Thank you. We run down. Gwendolyn Harry?
Yes.
Kelly Miller?
Yes.
Angela Sumner?
Yes.
And Alonzo Jenkins?
Yes.
Okay.
I can vote on this one.
That we pass.
Yes.
Oh, you can, okay.
No. No, that one's a budget.
But is that out of committee?
No.
Doesn't matter, it's still a budget item
It's budget.
Okay.
I'm learning.
or a
We're
funding
still
matter.
11. It passed. And.
You want
that
to
should
take
be-
public safety? I see your name by that too.
Well,
I can explain.
you know, go ahead, Gwen. I'll let Gwen do it.
Okay.
right.
Gwen?
Okay. So the first item is for Council File 250898, which was actually the thing that Drew said that already passed through the council and is well on its way. It's the traffic issue over in Carrizo Street and those areas, you know, the RVs and everything. And we wanted to support it, but they were so fast, you know, we're going to be supporting something that has already moved and voted on, but let's go ahead and do that. So that's, we supported that resolution and the actions that were taken on it.
Okay, it's out of committee, so any comment, questions on the table? Anyone? All right,
Okay.
call for the vote.
All right. Well, I'm going to probably do it out of order, just by people present. So Christina Calandra
Yes.
and Alonzo.
Yes.
Okay. Christina Barbera.
Yes.
Yes. Kelly.
Yes.
Yes. John Barbera.
Yes.
Yes. Ray Regalado.
Yes.
And my pen just broke. So yes. Vic Christensen
Aye.
and Adrian.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
And
Yes.
oh my God.
Because she's not paying attention. Too busy talking. Come on.
Come on, we need to move this along.
Kane and Gwen,
Want me to
myself,
do it?
I. And Angela? Yes. Yes. So we have all yeses.
And Chris?
Yes.
Oh, he is eligible to?
Yeah, it wasn't a budget thing.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That's why I take the votes usually.
Oh, okay. Thank you. The second item,
You doing the ghost items also?
yes. So this is in response to ICE being in our community over at Terminal Island. And some of the activities that have been going on within our own community. We have two items for that. I suppose we might as well work on the resolution. That was, it's a resolution condemning the acts of the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration and Customs Enforcement and calling on the city of Los Angeles to defend individuals' rights. Karen Bass is trying to do that, but we wanted to communicate how, based on an incident that occurred over at Terminal Island, we have a peace group that is over there. They were recording the activities, and one of the ICE, a group of the ICE individuals actually came over, detained her, and it's well documented. You guys can see that on video. So this resolution is to essentially ask for an investigation of these actions of Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents and ask the Port Police to report to the community, investigate that, and develop a protocol to prevent incidents like this from occurring. So, but we condemn those actions, and we ask that the Port Police help to provide for the safety and security of our community and our citizens. Thank you. So, Vic?
Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Wait, this is only on the resolution, it's not the combined?
No.
Did we combine it?
It says combined.
It is
letter and
combined.
resolution.
Look
Okay,
at the
so-
agenda, it's combined.
So there's that, and then we actually put that into a letter regarding the activities. So ICE, of course, goes around masked. They are using vehicles that have expired license plates. There's all sorts of things that violate our own traffic codes regarding not being able to identify the vehicles. The license plates have temporary tags. There's all sorts of switched plates that are not part of that vehicle. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So we have a letter that talks about that topic and the general threats against our public safety. So I can read some of these things. We are concerned about ICE accosting people in the community and the larger Los Angeles community in the streets, bus stops, in their cars, pulling them over from inside of stores, accosting them in stores, car washes, corner vending locations, and more. But we are expressing our concerns regarding ICE agents sighted at Terminal Island coming and going into the harbor area and their actions related to the incident that I just discussed with peaceful demonstrators. And our third concern is, once again, the vehicles driven by disguised federal ICE agents. The tampered license plates and identification. It's kind of called ghost vehicles. It's a tactic used by criminal element, and so therefore these supposed this supposed legal agency is unidentifiable, and there is no way to recognize whether they are actually ICE or some random person who's coming along and actually kidnapping somebody. So it leaves a precedent, a danger for our community that actually it isn't just the ICE agents, it actually allows other bad actors to go around and conduct these things, and you don't know who's grabbing anybody. Nonetheless, we're asking that the Port Police Department, the Port Police, the Los Angeles Police Department, and the LA County Sheriff to monitor and pull these vehicles over as they would do for any driver violating vehicle rules. These vehicles should be held, investigated thoroughly, including having them towed and secured for deeper review and corroboration of vehicle ownership and registration. This would protect community residents, especially if a valid driver's license is held by the person driving. We ask our law enforcement agencies to protect our community residents, support holding these drivers accountable, and bound within the California Legal Code regulations and limit possibility of willful, wanton, reckless, and malicious intent to injure or kidnap individuals. Our law enforcement entities must do whatever is required by traffic laws and enforce these laws upon these individuals who are purportedly ICE officers but driving illegal ghost vehicles. ICE's actions of hiding their identity and making vehicles untraceable is the kind of criminal behavior of predators and abductors. It is impossible to distinguish federal ICE enforcement from sex traffickers, predators, and abductors. This federal action is creating a public danger for all Angelenos. Passing this will save lives, protect individuals in our communities from forced family separations, brutalities, lack of due process, and overall violations of basic human rights. And it is our letter.
Okay, so combined letter and resolution coming out of committee. Any comments, questions? Angela?
There's some typos in this letter, and I'm just wondering if we can correct those without creating a whole separate letter? Or how
You don't
about-
want to, you don't want to change the context of the letter
I don't
or
want to
anything?
change it.
Just
There's some typos.
we can,
Okay.
we can do that. With that, and still get the letter out. Okay, great. Thank you for picking those up. Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay. We'll go ahead and vote.
Okay, Christina Rivera,
Yes.
John Rivera,
Yes.
Christina Calandra,
Yes.
Vic Christensen, aye. Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Gwen Henry,
Yes.
Alonzo Jenkins,
Yes.
Kelly Miller,
Yes.
Kay Nicholas,
Absolutely yes.
Ray Regalado,
Yes.
Angela Sumner,
Yes.
Chris Fay,
Yes.
unanimous with 12.
All right. Who's going to be responsible to make sure that these letters get out, corrected and out?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to skip item number 8. Mr. Norman is not here. Professor Norman is not here, so we'll go on to item number 9. Committee reports, executive committee. Okay, board members.
Yes.
Board members. Saturday the 13th, 1 o'clock, LAPD, community room, our retreat. Please be there so that we can get our committees formed up, to get the leadership of our committees in and working to make sure that we are going to be having very good, informative meetings moving after that. So for all of us, make sure that you identify what committee you're going to want to be on. Make sure you want to, if there's someone that wants to take leadership, I've already gotten someone who wants to take leadership of the Elections and Bylaws Committee, which I am so happy that I heard that that's happening. And so we're going to meet 1 o'clock. We're going to have some refreshments before, and let's see if we can get in and out within a few hours out of LAPD, or you will be a guest of LAPD until Halloween. So, all right. So that takes care of executive committee report. And also, just let me say that I have been staying on top of everything that's going on at Phillips 66 on behalf of the neighborhood council. It's crazy out there right now. We can't seem to get any help with the planning department to give us the extra 60 days extension that we really, really need to have so that we can do our job better as neighborhood councils. Vincent Thomas Bridge, please be aware that when the Vincent Thomas Bridge shuts down, that's only the beginning, because there's going to be a year ahead of time before that project starts. That what will end up happening is that they're going to be putting up scaffolding and 2 elevators on the Vincent Thomas Bridge so they can get the workers in and out of that location to redo the redecking.
Yep.
So with that said, there's a year ahead of the 16 months of the project that they're going to be doing that. And then to take all the scaffolding off after the project is done, it's going to be about another 9 months to tear it all apart. So during the construction of the scaffolding and the deconstruction of the scaffolding, the bridge will be periodically closed during that time too. So it's going to be closed a very long time, and it's going to really create a lot of havoc with all of us who are going to have to find other ways to get across the bridge. So just be aware, be ready. Anyway.
Was there any conversation on the cell tower that the supervisor mentioned, or she sent the letter to Caltrans? I know she asked for some sort of cell tower for the workers.
The cell tower?
Yeah, like an internet tower for the workers, for Caltrans. If not, I'll send you the letter.
Yeah, do that. I'm not exactly sure I've seen that. Okay, thank you for that, Adrian. All right, moving on to bylaws and elections. We still have a vacancy in Averill. People, go out there and ask who wants to work be that representative out in the Averill Park area. That's the best way we get a chance to get out there and really get the right people. Pardon me?
For their council?
No, for our council representing that community.
Oh, okay.
So if you know someone in that area, look at the boundaries,
what you're saying.
and let's see if we can recruit someone for that vacant seat. And then we also have someone that wants to take that leadership of that, and I'm so happy that Adrian is volunteering. Yeah. Budget and Finance, Melanie, she's not here unless someone has some type of feedback for Budget and Finance at this time? No? Okay.
We're still waiting on, the rollover, basically. We're still waiting on that.
But we do have an amount set already, right?
Yeah, it was 80, I believe it was 85, should be about 8,500
Yeah.
change.
Good.
But we're
Okay.
not,
So we got to think about how we're going to spend that.
gotta wait though first to
Yeah.
make sure they do give it to us.
That's true. Okay, moving on to public safety. Melanie, again, unless someone can talk a little bit about CPAP or any other public safety issues, we'll move on. Youth and outreach?
Yes. We, of course, are sneaking up on our fall and winter event schedule. Basically, bullet points from our last meeting. I was not in attendance, but I took good notes. Per April Jones, the skateboard and merch giveaways that will happen sometimes at Channel Street have been postponed because they do not have access to the parking lot, I believe due to construction. There's a mention here of Kane, a meeting on the 26th, Five Point Union project. I do not have details on that. Angela proposed a movie night for September, an agenda, and then there was a guest from the Boys and Girls Club, two of them, to report on a recent wellness fair that they had, an interest in collaborating with the Youth and Outreach Committee, which I think is a good idea. We do we do a lot of outreach. I am trying to emphasize the youth part of it more, which would obviously pertain to a lot of our audience, but basically, if you go to our website and look at our monthly calendar, the Youth and Outreach meeting is where a lot of the things that our committee takes on are begin. So if you're a young person and there's any issues amongst you and your classmates in your neighborhood, it's a good place to get that ball rolling. We will come up with ideas for events. We will sometimes participate or weigh in on topics that then get moved on to the full board. So we are trying to make efforts to bring more young people to kind of lower the average age of participation, because we have Alonzo, our youth representative, but as you can tell, most of the rest of our board, except for maybe Adrian, is a bit older, and so we would like for people who, let's say, under 25 or under 20, to feel like not only our committee but this board is here for them. You guys are here because you need your hours for class, but there's got to be issues in your own lives, in your own neighborhoods, that you might like to have some information on or a chance to do something about. So that's an invitation for you to come to the Youth and Outreach Committee meeting, or come back to the board even if you don't have to. And that's it. Oh, and actually, with that in mind, because Alonzo is growing up, we have an opportunity for another hot young go-getter to join our committee and our board as the youth rep, and so we will be publishing information. Again, if you have any interest in government or public service, this is a great way to learn. Clearly, if you sat here all evening, you know how the nuts and bolts of all this stuff works. So if you have any interest in that, God help you, you can come get even more of that and do more free work with us. But it's a great chance to learn. Somebody brought me in to this 10 years ago. I didn't think I had any interest in government public service, and I'm here. So if you're even curious about it, give it a shot. There's potential. You will learn a lot. Maybe you will want to do more.
Don't feel bad. I was dragged here too. On that youth rep also, it's really pretty cool. You're beyond the youth and outreach, and you'll be on the board, and you'll get a year's worth of experience, just like Alonzo has had the past year.
It is good on the resume.
It's very good.
There you go.
And it's a chance to get more followers.
And a college app.
When we do
It'll be coming up.
Yeah.
King?
Will we be, as we have a great audience and youthful stakeholders today, will we be collecting Instagram handles today? Okay.
We are at NW San Pedro. You should follow us. We will probably not follow you back. It's just an ethics thing, but you know. But you know, if we do anything interesting, you'll see it.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Angela?
Just a real quick correction. The proposal for the movie night was to be added to the September agenda, not a movie night in September, which would be quite a feat.
Thank you.
Was that misprint thing?
I don't have the notes in front of me. I'm glad you got them because I don't see them in the packet, but I know I emailed them to you and Christina.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
gave him a copy. That's what yeah.
Cool. That's it.
That's it? Okay. That's the community issues. Mr. John?
Yeah, we had a lot of issues. We canceled. So we didn't have issues.
Okay. Plan and land use. King?
Yeah, I can give a high-level update. We've obviously been talking about the Phillips 66 and 5 points notice of preparation, or NOP, as that acronym has been circling all night. The next item that we've been discussing at length is SB 79, and we're going to be looking in a special meeting. We're going to be looking to design a community outreach in order to support the comments. In the upcoming days, hopefully we'll get the extension that we require as a community. We are also following the Los Angeles Charter Reform Commission, and we'll be speaking about that. The Vincent Thomas Bridge, which has been spoken about already this evening, is on our agenda. And lastly, we'll be having, again, a special meeting this Wednesday in lieu of our regular scheduled meeting. And that is it for now.
Thank you. Environment and sustainability.
I am looking to reform it at the retreat. I'll make announcements.
Okay. That's it?
That is it for the moment.
The Christensen Science Center Ad Hoc Committee.
No news.
All right, that takes care of agenda item number 9. We're going to move on to agenda item number 10, and these are the liaison reports. We had our homelessness liaison report earlier. Just to name them off, animal shelter liaison, anyone? Yep.
Yes. The Animal Shelter Committee meeting is canceled for this Thursday, but I just wanted to make sure that, as I stated last month, typhus outbreak is still very relevant. There is, for September, also no adoption fees or adoption fees are waived for large dogs and adult cats so that we can reduce those animals in the shelter. And basically, for the first half of the year, we've had a 1% increase in all of LA City, and we've seen a slight decline in euthanasia by 6%. So 2% save rate, because they are now doing bulletins. So if you guys want to do some extra community service, please go to LA Animal Services, and you can sign up to be a volunteer to walk dogs or cuddle cats or whatever. So please take a look at that because we'd appreciate you volunteering. Thank you. LAAnimalservices.com.
Thank you for that. Yeah, Angela.
What is the age requirement to be a volunteer?
Oh, I'll have to check that.
I believe that walking dogs is above 18 or above. Yeah, you have
Okay.
to be an adult. But cuddling cats, I think it's okay. Nursing kittens is a family community thing as well.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of animals that need homes, whether you foster or actually take one. Please consider that the best thing in the world to have an animal by your side. And I'm not talking about your parents or anything like that. So, with that said, we don't have anyone from DWP or Public Works. Anything? LA Film. Cynthia's not here. Sustainability Alliance. Gwen, anything?
Not currently.
Nothing?
Nothing to report.
Okay. And data? Gwen or Vic or Chris? No? Nothing? Nothing? Okay. All right. Any announcements anyone has? One announcement.
As was previously mentioned, the Congress of Neighborhoods is coming up on Saturday the 27th. I believe we're going to have at least a little contingent from Northwest there. It is a great opportunity, whether you are a new board member, whether you're curious about becoming a board member or the system, or just a member of the neighborhood, to learn how the system works. Basically, there are breakout sessions and keynote speakers and chances to network and all that stuff. It's a good day-long trip to City Hall, and you get to talk to people who are interested and active in their communities, and it's a good place for you to become more interested and more active in your community. So free parking at City Hall East, and lunch, breakfast provided. All the cool kids will be there.
At City Hall in San Pedro?
Downtown.
So
That's actually open to the entire community.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, which is really awesome.
Yes.
And I just looked up the volunteer age. So for anybody 12 and older can volunteer at LA Animal Services as long as you have an adult sponsor. If you're 16 or older, you just need a guardian to accompany you to orientation. And then you're free to walk dogs all day long.
That is cool. Thank you for that. Last chance for general public comment on non-agenda items. Raise your hand if you want to say something. I see no hands. Moving on. Guess what?
Meeting adjourned.
We have one more thing to say, and we'll see you here on Monday, the 13th of October at 6 o'clock. We are adjourned.
At 8:20.